Some of the images you would be seeing in this presentation is rated as PG. Strong parental guidance is advised. The images are flashed and used for educational purposes only. Cupid and Psyche. Cupid and Psyche is an original work of an African writer, Lucius Apuleius. The story is found in his novel, The Metamorphosis, The Golden Ass. The characters: Cupid, the Roman god of love, son of Venus; Psyche, the Greco-Roman goddess of the soul, youngest daughter of the king, and the most lovely maiden exists that surpassed the beauty of Venus; Venus, the Roman goddess of love and beauty, also called Aphrodite in Greek; Apollo, the god of Greek prophecy and healing; Zephyr, the sweetest and mildest of winds; Charon, the ferryman; Cerberus, the three-headed dog; Ceres, or Mercury, the goddess of agriculture, grain crops, fertility, and motherly relationships; Persephone, the goddess queen of the underworld, wife of the god Hades; Jupiter, the god of the sky and the ruler of the Olympian gods; King, father of Psyche; and the two sisters of Psyche. Welcome to the story of Cupid and Psyche. Psyche is a stunningly beautiful princess born after two older sisters. People worship her beauty, and even strangers treated her with devotion and praises. This causes the goddess Venus so much jealousy that she sent her son Cupid to make the poor Psyche fall in love with a hideous monster. Venus showed Psyche to Cupid. As he looked upon her, it was as if he had shot one of his arrows into his own heart. Psyche did not fall in love at all. Apollo told her father that his daughter was doomed in a prophecy. He commanded the girl to be left at the edge of a cliff. Psyche waited there for her doom. On the hilltop, she waited. There she wept and trembled. A soft breath of air came through the stillness to her, the gentle breathing of Zephyr, the sweetest and mildest of winds. She thought it lifted her up. Psyche walked up beside a bright river, and on its bank was a mansion, stately as though built for a god. Throughout the day, except for the strange companionship of the voices, she was alone. But in some other way, she felt sure that with the coming of the night, her husband would be with her. And so it happened. She knew without seeing him that there was no monster or shape of terror. Instead, the lover and husband she had longed and waited for. Psyche was visited by her sisters. They saw her wealth and immediately got jealous of her, so they thought of doing something evil to her. Psyche asked Cupid to the next night if she might see her sisters again, and he gives in to her but warns her that they are planning evil. When they came, they revealed the oracle of Apollo and convinced her that her husband was not a man, but a fearful serpent. When he lay sleeping quietly, she summoned all her courage and lit the lamp. She tiptoed to the bed and holding the light high above, she gazed, and what later? No monster was revealed but the sweetest and fairest of all creatures, her husband, Cupid. Some of the oil fell from the lamp upon his shoulder. He was awakened. He saw the light and knew her faithlessness, and he fled from her. She rushed, she rushed out after him into the night, and she could not see him, but she heard his voice speaking to her. Love cannot live where there is no trust. The God of love, he was my husband, and I wretched that I could not keep faith with him. I can spend the rest of my life searching for him. If he has no more love felt for me, at least I can show him how much I love him. And she started on her journey. She had no idea where to go. She knew only that she would not give up looking for him. Psyche came into Venus' presence. The goddess then gave some tasks to Psyche. The first task, Venus took a great quantity of the smallest of the seed and mixed them all up together in a heap. Psyche was heartbroken and could not start her task, but a group of ants performed the task for her. Venus found it out and became so angry. Second task. The next morning she devised another task. Down the river bank, where the bushes grow thick, are stripped with fleeces of gold. Psyche must fetch some of their shining wool, and Psyche accomplished this by pulling the wool from the sharp briars. Venus received it with evil smile and said that someone must help her. And for the third task, next Venus made her get a vial of black water from terrible river Styx. This time her savior was an eagle, who poised on his great wings beside her, seized the flask from her beak and brought it back to her full of the black water. Venus kept on, and one cannot but accuse Psyche of some stupidity. The only effect of all that had happened was to make her try again. Venus gave Psyche a box which she has to carry to the underworld and asked Persephone to fill with some of her beauty. Psyche found her directions how to get to Persephone's place. First, through a great hole in the earth, where she must give the ferryman Charon a penny to take her across. From there, the road led straight to the palace. Cerberus, the three-headed dog, guarded the doors, but if she gave him a cake, he would be friendly and let her pass. Her next trial she brought upon herself through her curiosity and still more her vanity. She felt that she must see what the beauty and charm in the box was, and perhaps used a little of it herself. She was unable to resist the temptation and opened the box. To her sharp disappointment, she saw nothing there. Immediately, however, a deadly languor took possession of her and she fell into a heavy sleep. At this juncture, the god of love himself stepped forward. He wiped the sleep from her eyes and put it back into the box. Then, waking her with just a prick from one of his arrows, and scolding her a little for her curiosity, he bade her take Persephone back to his mother, and he assured her that all thereafter would be well. While the joyful Psyche hastened on her errand, the god flew up to the Olympus. He wanted to make certain that Venus would give them no more trouble, so he went straight to Jupiter. The father of gods and men consented at once to all that Cupid asked. Jupiter called a full assembly of the gods, announced to all, including Venus, that Cupid and Psyche were formally married and that he proposed to bestow immortality upon the bride. Mercury brought Psyche into the palace of the gods, and Jupiter himself gave her the ambrosia to taste, which made her immortal. This is, of course, changed the situation. So, all came to a most happy end. Love and the soul had sought, and after sore trials, found each other, and that union could never be broken. Sana